First Sin edition here on the Overanalyst channel. My name's Brady and I'm going to be your host this evening as we run a bit later stream than usual, but we are here for at least 3 hours, probably a bit more. I'm going to be your host as we run through a bit more of this utterly fantastic game. And if you recall, on yesterday's stream, amazingly, in less than 3 full hours, we were able to complete the Crown of the Sunken King ridiculous-like weapon eroding. Sorry about that. That was my dryer's bell going off. And poison laden DLC. Didn't do the multiplayer dungeon, the Cave of the Dead, yet. And we made our way here to the Old Iron King's Forge at Brume Tower, which serves as the principal setting for his eponymous DLC. Brume Tower, if I recall, aside from those idols of the Bride of Ash we ran into yesterday that we have to destroy lest they buff or heal enemies, doesn't have much in the way of, like, extraneous gimmicks. It's just a really tough combat gauntlet with a ton of awesome gear to offer us, as well as some fantastic views whenever we're on the outside of the structure. Now, if you recall, when we actually toured the Old Iron King's castle in the main game, we ran into a lot of the samurai, the Alonne knights, as well as a few of the special ironclad soldiers, but we didn't actually encounter, you know, much in the way of standard soldiers like Vendrick's infantry. And that's because I believe here we're going to be running into most of the Old Iron King's, like, regular footmen and similar beings. The dexterity ring, I have a feeling that's somewhat self-explanatory, right? Just gonna boost that dex? Oh no, well, we didn't see it yesterday, but we did get Sir Yorg's ring from the corpse in Send the Slumbering Dragon's boss room. Sometimes deflects spells, like, automatically, I guess, which is pretty cool. Ring of Sir Yorg, who sought the blood of a dragon and invaded Shulva, can deflect spells. When Sir Yorg faced Sin, the Slumbering Dragon, he drew blood with a flash of his steel, but Sin responded by spewing forth the poison that had long brewed within him, blanketing the city in a miasmic cloud. Yeah, and the dex ring just increases dexterity. An oddly formed iron ring increases the dexterity of its wearer. The Old Iron King ruled over a great age of iron. The king's power allowed him to mold iron freely, as if he held sway over the forces of life and creation. So he was some kind of sorcerer, I suppose, powerful in his own right, able, I think, with the cooperation of, like, the beings that inhabited, say, the Smelter Demon's armor, to, like, shape or manipulate metal. Which, if Avatar and its sequel series taught me anything, can be a pretty useful ability. Get some more growth balm. I think the balm items were added for the DLC. I don't think they were present in the base game. So here we have just a pile of chests that were made or smelted and just kind of thrown away. We are going to want to go to the very bottom of this tower eventually. This is going to be a running theme in Brume Tower. There's just going to be piles of crap that were kind of produced and thrown away. Now, here's where we should be meeting the Old Iron King's soldiers. The Fume Footmen. At least that's what I call them. They are very powerful, but like the Sanctum soldiers, not too strong. Or, I should say not too durable, I'm sorry. And they will just rise up out of the ash after us. Ow. That one was on me. And real quick, just so we have a chance at getting some of their special gear, we will wear the ridiculous-looking Jester's cap with our awesome Drake Blood armor. Herbs. Oh, I hear Nadalia. That whispering, that is usually indicative of one of her idols. We've got a version with a great sword here. Oh, fortunately, they are way less durable than even the Sanctum soldiers were. Oh, large soul, nice. Would love to get some of that like Fume Footman armor, though. I also found out, I think, I could be wrong, but I think from the second, or the first DLC, we could only get the, like, Spectral Sanctum Knight's helmet and gauntlets. I don't know that they actually drop, or you can find an entire armor set from them. Yeah, there's one of her idols in there. That's gonna be a problem, but at least we know one is in there. And I think once you destroy all of the Nadalia idols scattered around the area, you're able to complete her soul with all these little fragments we'll be picking up, which then gets you access to, like, the usual boss soul goodies without having to fight a boss directly this time. Well, kinda, sorta. Blackweed Balm. Does that one increase intelligence, maybe? Yes. Upgraded scythe. Alright. Probably not worth it. Oh no, that is not one of the idols, my bad. That is like an Ashen Wraith. Very, very powerful archers that I think may be able to revive themselves once. I kind of forget what their deal is. Aside from they deal lots of damage, and were a major pain in my ass my first time through this DLC. What do we have here? Oh, Titanite, nice, and thematically appropriate. Because obviously we want to get over there, or up there I should say, across the hall, to, destroy Nadalia's idol, because it will be buffing these guys. I think they may be in range. Don't know for sure, but they might be. Oh no, we just dropped straight down below it. There's a couple ways of dealing with it. I think we might want to drop down from the ledge up here first, because it didn't look like there was a way to go up a level from where we were about to land. And yeah, Nadalia is definitely going to be buffing this guy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember what these guys do now. Quite dangerous with those swords. They might be able to, like, reconstitute themselves? I don't remember. What do we get for our trouble, other than getting rid of the Ash Wraith? Bonfire ascetic and some human effigies. I will take the latter, don't really care much about the former. Sorry, just a second, let me fire something off over in the Discord. Alright. Now we may have to take a quick hit to the old health from falling damage, or no. No, we can get the drop on this guy. And he can just devastate us with that great axe. Well, this is good. We do get the drop on him, and yeah, he's been buffed by the Bride of Ash. Still got him, though. Now, before she attacks us, I don't know if they all can use Firestorm, but I don't want to chance it. Let's... Oh, jeez. Another fragment of her soul, nice. And of course, her idols do not regenerate. Oh, Lord. 1, 2, 3. Right, so that the horizontal follow-up is optional, thankfully. On their own, these guys are no threat at all, but later in the DLC, I think they start coming in pretty significant numbers. We got Dance of Fire, which is a pyromancy, I'd imagine? Yeah, that looks like it. Pyromancy created by the Magus Aegel, loyal follower of the Old Iron King. Cast flame in a sweeping motion across a targeted area. The fire seems to dance and makes its victims dance with it, so like an improved version of a basic flamethrower spell that I think we might be able to get in the base game. Like just a very standard little short-range beam of fire. Okay. So from here, since it looks like we've got everything, we're good to go. We can head out through the large double doors here. Like so. And again, you just get one of these gorgeous views every time you take to the perimeter of the tower. It's... oh, I can't get enough of it. Which is good, because we're going to be seeing a whole hell of a lot of this place. If I die half as many times as I did originally... oh no, look. These frightened little hollows are carrying powder kegs, and there's open flames over there, so... that might happen. Just something to be aware of as we venture on through here. There's going to be a lot of explosives and explosions. Looks like there is a way into that tower, but just not one we can access readily. So let's be ready for the ashen, or the fuming footmen to attack. Like so. Jeez. Oh, this is a new variant. He's got a halberd, looks like. Halberd and shield. Not really any more durable than the others, though. Not that I'm complaining. I like the look of their armor. I have the sense that in life that would have looked a lot cooler. Like when the armor was actually whole. Oh, hello. Very obvious secret passage. Bonfire? Bonfire? Hey, MC, how's it going, man? Hope you've had a good day so far. Something going to drop down on us through the grate. Guess not. Oh, 2 soul vessels. Nice. In case this DLC sends us... Screaming. MC says, GG on murdering poor Sin yesterday. Again, that's one you don't feel super great about, especially since, compared to the Queen, it doesn't put up a huge fight, but thank you regardless. I think it's a very cool boss fight, aesthetically. But today, if I actually make it through this DLC today, we will get to see my favorite fight in the entire series. Like, second to none. Easily. Now, uniquely among the DLC, this one requires us to kill only one of its bosses. That boss, of course, being friggin' amazing. And, the Ashen Wraith just kind of burned itself to death on the Gout of Flame, not that I'm complaining. And in addition to the standard multiplayer dungeon boss in, I think, what's called, like, the Iron Passage or whatever, there is a really... jeez. Really cool optional boss who ties into a lot of the lore we got from the Iron Keep that we can access, I would say just after halfway through the DLC, but I will save for last because it's really hard. Like, really, really hard. And it's also one of the reasons why, as much as we've joked about it as a stat, I am going to be dumping quite a few levels into adaptability, because we need those greater iframes on rolls, we need to be a little bit faster on our feet. It's gonna be important for this one. I quite like the look of, ow, the Old Iron King's regular footmen. I dare say I prefer their look to that of the Alonne Knights. Upgraded Kestis, so that's kind of the theme here. We're going to be getting normal or early game weapons upgraded pretty far along the Ascension route. This isn't an NPC, is it? No. Someone who's got good taste, though. I think they were wearing the Drakeblood armor. Okay, so see that giant down there with the big club leaking lava out of both shoulders, alternatively? They're kind of the heavies in this area, and yeah, that lava is not just for, like, aesthetics, it actually does deal damage. Kind of discouraging circling around the opponent's sides. If something's going to kill us easily, it's going to be either a large number of Fume footmen altogether, or it's going to be one of those. Other than that, I don't recall anything in here being, like, ridiculously challenging save for the boss. So we have made it to the upper floor of Brume Tower. 5 bonfires here, but that's because I think this is technically one of 2 areas in the entire DLC. Shortcut, okay, gotta keep that in mind. Oh, ow. Oh, that'd be the Ash Wraith, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I see your game. Not to worry, we'll take you out first, then open the shortcut and come around. On through the fog door. Think we can get this area's really awesome looking elevators to run to this area before too long. This one isn't running yet. Nor is this one. There are these lifts we can activate later that are built on the backs of these gigantic stone-like golems. They look, or I should say iron golems, probably. They look really, really cool. But I guess we have to activate them from below. Right, so what we want to do is chase this little guy here down the trapdoor, go on, so that he will hopefully run straight into the giant and his massive, like, seeping lava. We'll give him some time while we explore. On Earth. Another shortcut, I guess. Huh. Guess we'll come over here to lure down a second gunpowder hollow. Oh, but first... Is this one already dead? Can't be. What could have killed it? Well, whatever. Alright, folks, down into the hole and straight onward to the giant, so I don't have to fight it much. There you go. That's the way. Go on. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, we'll have to wait until we're down there, won't we? A little bit. There you go. Life gems. I'll take it. Now with 4 of these suckers running around down there, even if we get the giant after us, he's bound to send one of them up. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Just however you want to go. Oh, well, there one of them went, and there went most of the giant's health. I think they might be called Minotaur Knights or something like that, though I could be wrong. Now remember, we are going to be swarmed by Fume foot soldiers as soon as we get down here. Yep, it begins. Off you go. Ow. Oh, and there's one of Nadalia's idols here. Great. Oh, jeez. Okay, okay, we made it. Oh, why does everyone have a bow in this game? That is one of my minor problems with Dark Souls 2, or this edition at least. Every enemy seems to have a bow. Oh, jeez. So yeah, she can attack us with Firestorm, I guess if she has no alternative. But we can attack with a Smelter Wedge. That's 3 down, I think. Let's just get rid of these guys now. Oh, they've got a decent amount of health. Never you mind. Oh, Flame Quartz Ring. That would actually be really helpful. Oh, Human Effigy. Nice. I will say, on the whole, this DLC seems to have much, much better loot than the first one did. Or much more useful for our purposes. Remember, the first DLC did give us that, I think, Stone Quartz Ring plus 3, which, should hopefully allow us to damn near trivialize the Dark Lurker. Because, I was wrong. I said during the stream where we encountered it that the Dark Lurker used all 4 types of magic. It technically doesn't. It, I believe, knows or uses dark variants of moves that are found in each, like, school of sorcery. So, like, it's got a dark version of the Soul Spear, it's got a darker version of Wrath of the Gods, things like that. Which all, of course, originally had different damage types. So, since it deals almost exclusively dark damage, the Dark Quartz Ring, coupled with decent armor, like Agdane's set, maybe, that has good dark resist, should be able to just pave that one over for us. I don't trust these guys at all. Ambush and then pincer, yeah, that's... Oh, but you can't, like, sneak it, or you can't attack them in advance, can you? Nope. You've got to do this on their terms. See, the problem is, too, that sword does fire damage as well, meaning it pierces our guard, ow, more easily than, like, a standard attack would. Or to a greater extent, I should say. Come on. Human Effigy? I'm watching that pile of armor back on the stairs. Dried Root, Titanite, all good, all good. NC says, by the way, I looked for the poison statue cluster and how to kill it. Either a well-aimed projectile attack or AoE spell. I think AoE spells are the way I've seen, like, friends do it before. Don't recall anyone ever actually being able to hit the tiny little reptile with a like, dumbfire projectile. Oh, what are you? Oh, that's a caster. That is a caster with a powerful, long-lasting AoE. Oh, you're gonna be hell, aren't you? And the Ash Wraith is going to come to life, of course. Okay, casters. Casters are exactly what these guys need to be really dangerous, actually. Oh, no. Wow. Yeah, I forgot about these folks altogether. And it looks like they're gonna be our actual challenge here. Somehow it was able to vanish and then immediately appear behind me for a follow-up attack. I don't know, given Dark Souls' control style, and prior to Dark Souls 3, or Bloodborne, I should say. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So the preferred method of getting past that little exterior area for us, I feel, is going to be constantly running back and forth to, like, kite the Fume footmen as they rise out of the ground. Trying to take them and the spellcasters on at once, even if it's just a one-in-one type situation, is not going to work at all. And the giants do respawn, but the doors stay open, so there is that. Come on. Come on, folks, down we go. That's it. Almost. If you want something done right, yeah. All right. Woo! Are they going to follow us outside? Or... looks like a no. Well, that was lucky. Ow. They do drop some equipment, I just don't know exactly what. I think maybe you can get their sword or something, like the flaming sword, which would be a pretty good drop. Oh, if only friendly fire was a thing for the sorcerers. Come on. I know you're both on my case. Yeah, if we could take these guys out before the spellcasters will be, well, I shouldn't say no problem, but they'll be very manageable. We do not want to block that friggin' thing, I have a feeling, because the AoE will still center on us anyway. Or no, it doesn't seem to if it hits, like, walls or something. Whew. I would take that back. Maybe not if it hits us. It just hurts like hell, which is... oh, and it slows us down because electricity, paralysis, and all that. Oh, she's tough, isn't she? The sorceresses are more durable than the soldiers. And seeing as how I'm pretty sure the soldiers have rotted away to the point where they're not even really, like, organic material anymore, they're just possessed suits of armor by and large, I don't know what to make of that. Well, let's get all them souls back. There we go. Now, see, I believe there's a couple areas in this DLC where, like, you can walk out onto little ashen promontories like this and they'll fall away. And that looks... yeah, ambush, be wary of message, there you go. That looks like a trap if ever I've seen one. So what we're gonna do is head down the normal way and clear this whole area out. It's no doubt rife with fuming footmen. And then come back up for the little drop and our gear. Ambush ahead, I'm sure. I'm sure. I see all these Ash Wraith, like, armor suit, or armor sets scattered around the ground, and that makes me incredibly nervous, you guys. Ow. They may deal a lot of damage, but they go down much easier than the Sanctum soldiers did. And honestly, I would argue it looks like they don't even deal as much damage blow for blow. So doesn't... do the Ashen Footmen spawn here, I'd imagine? Or... ow! Nasty. Does an NPC also spawn in or something? So we're keeping that shield up. Man, the old Iron King just ruled over the worst country, didn't he? Oh, there's items hidden in some of these, like, fossilized husks. Souls? I mean, we'll take souls, always. Soul of a hero? Maybe the ambush only spawns in if we go for the bait up there, which, because I'm a sucker for punishment, does look very tempting, admittedly. Here we go. Human effigy. Oh. Okay. That wasn't it. Yet, anyway. Fog wall? Let's see what's on the other side of the fog wall. Again, I know where the bosses are here, so there's no danger whatsoever of us being, like, caught off guard. Because what I really want to see is, can we open up a shortcut? Well, we got a bonfire, which is just as good. We've got a bonfire, and then I'm maybe one of the bosses over here. Or no, this isn't the area I'm thinking of. This is just loot. Magic stone. Anything over here? No. We'll explore this later. We've got more to do on the outside of the tower first. If you notice, there was like that auxiliary tower with a chain leading to it. We're going to explore that next, and I think that's where we get invaded by one of the more, like, ingeniously designed NPC opponents in the game. One who actually took inspiration from, like, crafty, indirect, kind of trollish invaders. And so, whom, of course, I really, really like. Let's do it. Yep, that looks like the place. Some raw stone. Just a straight drop, okay. I may or may not be able to get this guy the first time around because of kind of his gimmick. But here we go. Yep, Maldron the Assassin. So he's unique in that this is kind of a trap area down here, as you can see, suffused with Nadalia's buffs and miasma and things like that. And I think once we get him down to a certain percentage of health, he is going to run like hell down into, like, the area where Nadalia's troops are waiting. Nadalia's troops and ow. Okay, he is more dangerous than I recall. He fights with a lance and is one of very few characters we've seen who does so thus far. Yep, here he goes. And notice also we start getting cursed past a certain point. So, yeah, I'm not messing with him right now. We can finish him off later. I just want my treasure. Bonfire aesthetics. Well, I could do that, or we could, like, just really lay on the curse protection. If we have such a thing. Because I think we can dispel the curse aura only by destroying Nadalia's idols. Like, there's a couple of them that are down there. And we've got nothing that'll, like, really mitigate curse, though, so... I vote not yet. We'll be able to get some kit that'll allow us to go into that tower safely later on. And I don't think Maldron will come after us. We have effectively routed him. Locked door. Oh, I think the door leads to the boss. The special bonus boss, that is. So we can activate the lift system here if we have an iron scepter, a scorching iron scepter. And for that we need to go on past the bonfire, I want to say. Oh, the spell quartz ring +3. Nice. That will come in handy for this DLC's multiplayer dungeon boss, believe it or not. It deals, I believe, almost entirely magic damage. Not something we would associate with the old Iron King, but... So yeah, there we go. Goodbye, Maldron. You learned the ways of the troll quite well. I would have performed much the same had I invaded somebody here. I'm so proud. So from the foyer, we're going to head on down. We are about halfway through the DLC's actual area, I want to say, roughly. These aren't the longest DLC in the world, but I think we can say pretty confidently they are of rather high quality. As oh no, it's another one of the spellcasters. Ow! A backstab, really. A special backstab attack. Well, how do you like mine? Well enough, apparently. You can... Oh no, the spikes got her. And we got the Fume Sorcerer robes. Probably great for magic, like an exclusively magic-based build. Did I miss one? Damn, I sure did. Minotaur statue got her, though. We got the Fume Sorcerer boots. Maybe we'll get the whole set. So I think the idea here is you want to get rid of all the spellcasters before having to take on the giant. Hate the lava. Hate it. Unfortunately, aside from annoying us, it doesn't deal too much damage, unlike the giant itself. Or Minotaur Knight, or whatever they're called. I shouldn't be calling them giants because that is a distinct group of creatures in this world, and these are not giants in the vein of the giants that Vendrick invaded. Now we can raise all these portcullises at once, and hopefully be relatively safe and sound. All of these guys may have been able to help us with the giant, but that's a hard emphasis on may, as all of these barrels are loaded with gunpowder, and it may have actually been more of a liability to have the giant rampaging around here leaking lava, when our entire area, not just the area we were trying to goad these guys into, was coated with high-yield explosives. That's a bad idea. It looks convenient. It looks like the easy way out, but it is, in fact, I would argue it's a trap. So, lots of people thought, when the DLCs were released, that their overall design was vastly superior to that of the base game. Now, understanding that a lot of encounters and things like that were changed for Scholar, what do we think? What do we think, folks? Or MC, because you may be the only person watching live right now. Good old Dark Souls 2 always knows how to pull an audience. That is not true just for me, however. Dark Souls 2 doesn't tend to do ridiculously well on stream most of the time compared to the other entries in the franchise, I've noticed. Alright, so we're heading back outside. And maybe this is a shortcut? Hopefully? No. Ah, but this does lead to the treasure we saw beyond the gate at the, or the grate at the bonfire. Just another dried root. MC says, well, didn't have much of an audience for your exceptional DS1 streams. First off, thank you very much for the praise, but also, Dark Souls 1 and 3 in general, I'm not saying just for me, we're not like a high-yield channel anyway. But a lot of times Dark Souls 1 and 3, as well as Bloodborne, do vastly better than this game on streams. I think, again, a lot of that is due to the somewhat I would argue unintentional or wholly undeserved negative reputation the game has. MC says, I dig the area, feels semi-organic, a bit more claustrophobic than natural. Yeah, and Shulva felt incredibly claustrophobic. The Dragon Sanctum, I would say this area's design is preferable to Shulva and the Dragon Sanctums, if only because the random or the normal encounters, just making your way from area to area, require quite a bit of thought, preparation, and acknowledgement of all the things your enemies can do, but they aren't quite so tanky as most of the Sanctum-based enemies were. And what the hell are these? They're like explosive, thick ash wraiths. Well, wasn't expecting that. Hold on, might be a couple different ways to deal with this. Not the best way to deal with this. You take more magic damage? Oh god, no. Because Dark Orb is just better overall, I suppose. Yeah, so there are several enemy types I do not remember at all, which is really cool. Ow. Whoa. just barely got out of there in time. We're probably gonna get something or do something, get something for or do something by lighting all these braziers. So give me just a second. We do have all those flame butterflies literally burning a hole in our pocket. These are very, very rough braziers. They're basically just giant tar pits. And I'm certain we don't want to step in the burning tar surrounding them. They are environmental hazards, but they give us a bit of light, so, you know, worthy trade. Anything actually in here? Oh, just a way we could have dropped down from above, I guess. Later on, maybe? Oh, wait, that's another invader. Quicksword Rachel. Okay, well, if we're doing this, we're doing it up here. Or at least give me a chance to heal, please. There we go. This might be tricky. Again, I don't remember anything... I guess I don't remember anything at all about this whole part of the area. We're gonna want to drop down here later on, by the way, of course. Oh! She's got, like, the miracle weapon buff. Sunlight Blade, I think it is. She's also got insane poise, of course. God, that damage. Okay, we're gonna wait until that thing expires. Dark Orb's still a winner, and seems to deal more poise damage than I do. Or than my physical attacks do, anyway. Well, and that thing can't last indefinitely. We just might get this, folks. Not the best performance, but it doesn't matter. We got through the NPC. Yay. And made it to an area just rife with choice. Oh, no! Sent the other one flying. MC said clutch. Oh yeah, no, a lot of these NPC invasion duels are gonna end the same way. Especially since they have got really good poise, and more often than not, I don't. That adaptability is gonna help us out just a teeny tiny bit in that department, but not enough to make a huge difference at this stage in the game, I don't think. Pointless ahead, they say? Pointless, truly? Oh yeah, that's pretty pointless. Don't you dare, just more of them. Oh, it's just the same guys. From the other direction. Here, but ambush, so like there's treasure here, no doubt, but ambush. Or, Twinkling Titanite? Oh, hello! That's right, you guys can teleport. Easily the most dangerous enemies here. And Recollection, which is sorcery, maybe? We'll take a look in a moment. Oh, why another one? As long as I get the souls for it, I'm not complaining. Pointless. Don't give up, yeah. Also got plenty of boss weapons and or special spells to pick up. Maybe the oil will automatically ignite the explosive hollows if they pass through it. There you go. Oh! I'm dead, actually. Wow. Okay. Okay, not the best showing, but hey, we're doing far better in this DLC than we did the first one so far. And that is, like, a pretty hectic little area. I was gonna see if, like, you got anything for killing all of them, but I guess not. Now we just need to run like hell through this area with the sorceresses and giant. Made much easier by the fact now that we don't have any of the portcullises in the way. And there we go. Back into the secondary tower. Definitely want to get over there, because that area is just coated in treasure. And danger, no doubt, but it's the treasure that makes the difference here. Very easy to dodge slam attack, but it does hurt. Oh lord, does it hurt. Alright, 2 more, right? Yeah. 3 more, my bad. Ooh! We're a little too close when he began the animation there. Whew, so close. That's got a really healthy radius to it, you know? So close to those souls. Come on. Just don't blow us up and we'll be good. Thank you. Oh, is this a secret area? No, of course not. This is what we want, but first I want to explore that second floor that we pass on the way down here. It doesn't have a landing for a ladder, but I think we may have to roll down there. Which, I mean, you can guess how well that's gonna go. Deserves the old college try, though, right? We are going to remove the Ring of Blades and replace it with the Silver Cat Ring, replace the Drake Blood Leggings with the Jester's Tights. I'm not taking any chances here, I don't have to. There we go. Aha, I knew there was a point to coming in here. One treasure, it better be a good one too. Oh, just a dried root? Man. Any secret walls, anything? No? No? Secret walls? Secret wall? No? Well. Back to the Drake blood set, I guess. And down we go. MC says the DLC loot feels subpar so far. So I will say, one issue I'm having in particular is it seems that there are these really cool, like, armor sets that enemies can drop in the DLC, and, like, weapons and things like that, too. And, of course, we don't have our covetous Gold Serpent Ring +1 equipped, which is going to affect our drop rate pretty significantly, but it does feel like enemies in the DLC drop their gear way less frequently than do their equivalents in the main game. And yeah, there's a handful of really cool spells and weapons and things like that. The third DLC, what I've seen of it, I've never actually beaten the third DLC before, but from what I've seen of it, it has way more and much cooler, like, really useful loot. The first one, the first DLC, Shulva, I will agree with you, it's a little lackluster. Oh god. That's the scepter we need to activate the lifts. It's just, kind of in demand right now. But in this one, it's alright. Like, you would imagine being in, like, the old Iron King, this warmonger's massive, like, fortress forge. Like, the place from which he armed and armored his entire, like, world-conquering army. You'd expect there to be some better, like, material loot here instead of just some cool spells, right? Dusk Herb. So let's remove the scepter from the forge. Scorching Iron Scepter, where is it? MC says world-conquering army. Well, that was the idea, anyway. MC says fat, legless corpses that explode. To be fair, the Alonne Knights, the sorceresses, and the ironclad soldiers, as well as I would argue the Fume Footmen, all perfectly capable and actually pretty intimidating by Dark Souls standards. Scorching Scepter, used to activate contraptions by transferring heat to Brume Tower. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. When the Old Iron King wrested this dilapidated region from the Kingdom of Ven, the act required all the resources the enfeebled lord could muster. But with the discovery of this iron-producing miracle, he was reborn as a powerful leader. So he was sitting on, I guess, like the only massive or substantial deposit of iron in the entire region. And that is it. Oh, elevator? Taking us back up to the foyer, hopefully? Oh, of course. You want to bet that these guys never show up again anywhere else in the DLC? There's just that one area that's jam-packed full of them, and then never again. Alright, we are in business. Shortcut, shortcut. Kinda, sorta. This puts us back on top of that pile of chests just inside this auxiliary tower. Okay, looks like there's an archway we can access that plane of ash over to the right from the exterior of Brume Tower. Good to know. MC says not gonna bet against the lone horse running. Totally fair. Didn't go that well for him, though. He seemed like, with all of the egotism and desperation and all of that baked into his backstory, or what we're aware of it. The Old Iron King, suitably for an inheritor of Gwyn's soul, seems almost like a parody of Lord Gwyn. And is, no doubt one of the reasons why that particular character and plotline don't really come up again, despite all their importance here in Dark Souls 3, where I would consider this a spoiler, but it's just something fun we can look forward to. The final boss has 2 phases, and in the second phase, it literally just becomes Lord Gwyn, same music and all. The same moveset, same weapon, same move, same background track, everything. MC said, whoops, yeah, no, we're gonna have a lot of fun with Dark Souls 3 just breaking down its design, because as awesome as its core gameplay and a lot of the improvements they make to, like, mechanical systems are, the way story and lore are handled is just a hot mess, especially the way this game's story is handled. In that it's, MC says too much fan service is terrible. Yes, it is. And I would argue, I mean, you're a game designer, you can give us some perspective on this yourself, but this game, in terms of, like, fan service and nods to the first game or even Demon's Souls, seems to not overstep that line. It uses a fairly restrained amount of direct references to earlier games, and then plenty of coded references where, as I said, like, these events, these characters have fallen away into a time of myth, and you can see that, oh, the old dead one that created the undead grave wardens and the like, that was Nito, clearly, if you know the lore, but it's not just, oh, hey, here's Nito again. Dark Souls 2 does fan service well, I would argue. Dark Souls 3 does it very, very poorly. These are the cool elevators I talked about earlier. They look a bit like the old knights, don't they? MC says this game either follows a chronological reference or an indirect reference. Yeah, right. And that feels more natural. It's not exactly shoehorned in. You could argue that, like, Ornstein showing up in the same exact... I shouldn't say same exact. He's, like, tapping into the power of the darkness now, but Ornstein showing up might be a bit too far. But the way it's handled, I'd say, is really nice. It's early in the game, it's a quick one-off nod, and it's a lot of fun to revisit that fight very briefly. But Dark Souls 3, as we'll see, has so many cool original ideas when it does go largely original, within the context of the series anyway, but is so reliant upon Dark Souls 2. Or Dark Souls 1, I should say, that it's just a nightmare at times. Yep. This area is going to be guarded, I want to say, almost exclusively by the Giants, or the Minotaur Knights. No. Oh, I thought he was getting ready for a follow-up. It looks like it's not even like a proper weapon, he's just attacking us with a giant chunk of ore. MC said, a nod of sort, but with its own game logic. Right, exactly, and I could be a secret fan of Ornstein, so that's fine. Oh, no, he's very popular amongst the fandom, and for good reason, I would say. He's a very cool character, and I would say more deserving of being slightly overhauled and made more appropriate for a one-on-one battle than Smoth was. Especially since, most players, this one does have a proper weapon. He's got like a giant mace. But most players, myself included, prefer killing Ornstein first in Dark Souls 1. So they effectively get a solo Smoth boss fight, and very few folks, comparatively, see the Ornstein variant. MCS, want to know why they added Ornstein at the beginning for the second game? My guess, and I think we talked about this in on stream, is it allows players, like returning players, to feel a type of connection to the world and the lore. It feels like, oh hey, wait, this is the same world, here's something from the first game, but also, here's something that was really challenging and noteworthy from the first game, and it's still a reasonably challenging early game duel boss, but you're able to overcome it, I would imagine, with far less difficulty than you did in the first game, feeling like, oh hey, I've gotten better at this series, I'm learning it, I'm growing, I'm becoming more capable. Those would be my guesses, but please, tell me what you think. I also, for the record, think the decision to place him very early on in the game was a brilliant one. Were he to appear, like, late game in or around Drain Lake Castle or whatever, that'd be a bit much. We also got a tower key we just used. This thing? Key that opens the door to Brume Tower. Doesn't make sense because we're in Brume Tower. Long ago, the tower used to produce a seemingly endless supply of iron. The king used it to create iron soldiers and an iron castle. Legend has it, he even tried forging a dragon out of iron. Now see, that sounds like it'd be a really cool boss. Like a mechanical iron dragon to juxtapose with all of the purely fantastic creatures we've seen so far. MC says, it's a way to connect the story, yes, and it's a way to connect the difficulty scale from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2. Yeah, no, this game is, by my metric, there are people who would argue this, and I would say reasonably, but by my metric, this game is much harder than the first one. And it lets you know straight off the bat, like, hey, this is some real shit here. Like one of the hardest bosses from the first game, or again, part of one of the hardest boss fights from the first game. And this is where we're going to start you off. Oh, that is so tempting. Haha. MC says, I would say this game often goes into DS1 DLC difficulty and might even surpass it. Oh, at times it definitely surpasses it, I would say. Shulva, for instance, is an insanely challenging zone, no matter how many times I go through it. Likewise for the Shrine of Amana. Before you destroy the headstones, the Undead Crypt, the Strength Ring, much like the Dexterity Ring, but for a different attribute. Flaming Axes now, eh? Stepping up our game. I don't know why so many of these Ash Wraiths are inactive. Maybe, the more of Nadalia's idols we destroy, the more or the fewer of them will be active at a given time. Like every time we destroy an idol, a couple of them drop. Obviously the floor to the right there, that kind of weakened section of floor will give away. Jumping required ahead. Hold in short, be wary of trap, right. This allows us to do I would say do a plunging attack, but he was perfectly unaware the whole time, so we're fine. Praise the sun, amen, look at that view. Jeez. The Iron King's lands must have been gorgeous before he despoiled them all. Ow. Ow. No, 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 no! No! Oh, we were so close to the treasure, too. Oh, this is gonna suck. The giants with the maces are way more dangerous than the variants with the ore, as you can see. We might be able to pull this out, though, just barely. Whew. I love the lava, like, to discourage constant circle strafing as a design element, but as a player, I hate it. That should get you. Yeah. Fire Drakestone. Okay, MC says, but yeah, sequels like to put the same boss just to get a raw metric of the improvements to the gameplay. Right, yeah. Or at least present some kind of very familiar experience culled directly from the previous title to players, which I think is a great idea. Don't you come to life. Just stay there while I deal with your buddy. Oh, he's buffed too. I need to use repair real quick. One of Nadalia's idols is around then. How many smelter wedges do we have? 3 still. Good. We can pick up a few more elsewhere, by the way. Whew. I'm taking care of you first. Well, I'd say I was, but Christ. Oh good, this time the other one did wake up. It's okay, we can manage. Even if I die, I will find Nadalia's idol and destroy her. Wait, we don't have to worry about that. There's a lift. Yay! Bye-bye. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, and we're at the boss. Sweet. Well, I know there's a bonfire right around here. In addition to a couple Minotaur Knights guarding it. Like so. Being buffed by Nadalia, of course. Oh yeah, also, make sure you have enough smelter wedges here to destroy all of Nadalia's idols, because otherwise, she will have several healing AoEs present within the boss room. I'm so excited. We are gonna die so many times in this boss fight, but it is so good. It's so good! Generally, even people who aren't too big on Dark Souls 2 tend to really like this fight. Based on what I've seen, anyway. Got him. Oh, we might need to go get one more wedge. There's 4 of them. And there is no way I'm fighting this thing while allowing it to have any kind of handicap whatsoever. So tell you what, I'll take care of those 2. But I'll actually keep my last smelter wedge in case we run into the idol that was buffing the others on our way up. Oh, and we can get help here, but why on earth would we? The last bonfire is just outside of the optional boss's room, I believe. MC says help is for the weak. Depends on the fight. This fight, I feel, is way more fun without help. Something like Alonne, where she summons in, say, a late-game boss, is actually probably more fun with help. And of course, if you're playing with friends, it's always more fun with a little bit of help. But they're not buffed. Huh. Maybe the idols down below were helping them? Sorcery clutch ring, alright. Oh, they give you plenty of souls, don't they? Whew! That attack is nasty. That one significantly less so. Oh, I forgot about the follow-up, though. That looks cool. Like a breakdancing move. I would love to have actually gotten the loot that these guys kept us from by knocking us down a floor. Let's see if we can't climb back up. I honestly don't know if we can. Oof. Got him. Oh, are we actually gonna have to go back to the previous bonfire? No way to activate a lift or anything here? Well, that sucks. We'll do it then. I just need to get my mitts on one more wedge for now and we'll be fine. MC says maybe a lever somewhere. No. I think I'm thinking of the multiplayer dungeon, not the proper area itself. There probably isn't a lift there. Back to the foyer. Though now we can just ride the statues down. Oh, wait a minute, what is that? We'll need to ride that first. That might actually take us to the bonus boss. The regular bonus boss, not the boss of the multiplayer dungeon. The multiplayer dungeon is still below us, I think. Or it could take us to smelter wedges. I would be happy with either. And he says, I got a friend to play Cliff Empire today. Oh yeah, how'd they find it? I know it's, like, really complex, yeah? Ooh. Must be boiling in here. Got wrecked by the city builder but loved it. Yeah, most of the like really complex strategy games on the market require a good few hours worth of learning before you can really get proficient. We've been here before? I don't know that we have. I don't think so. Go on, off you go, toward the wraiths. How on earth did they miss the hollow every time? Love the fact that they float, but still make sure to take the stairs. Come on, 1, 2... Just 2 that time? Oh god, why are there 3 of you? Hey! An explosion from above got one of them, though. Oh, there's still that damn footman, though. Look at the way the helmet sits on top of the cuirass. That, I mean, clearly it's an empty suit of armor, but it looks so off. It's unsettling. Love it. MC said he fell into the only soft luck of the game and tried to use, which is not the building material manufacturer, and tried to use salad as a source of food, which the game treats as vitamins, like vitamins only, so no essential nutrients or anything like that. Ooh, that's a shame. So we got they're called possessed armor, I guess, and we got their great bow. Let's do a little read, just to see what we've got, or what we're dealing with here. Great bow wielded by possessed armor, crafted with multiple layers of iron, resulting in almost excessive sturdiness. These suits of armor were once decorations, until the black fog ruling the tower seized control of them. So that's Queen Nadalia herself. I guess trying to fight us as best she's able right now. As he says, food is basically wheat, right, so just straight up grains. Anything else is superfluous. I gotcha. Salad, fruit, fish, and grapes are for, like, vitamin resources, so, like, supplemental, right, to make the people happy. I gotcha. And we just got a pack of 4 smelter wedges, which should be, well, not only more than enough to clear the way to the boss battle, but to also clear up most of the rest of Nadalia's idols. There should be only 1 or 2 wedges more we need to collect. Maybe? No, wait, sorry, maybe something closer to 4. That sounds right. Well worth this little detour then. Good thing I spotted that platform. And we've been here before, of course. Ah, but we aren't able to access the large door last time around because this lift wasn't working. Couple different areas we could go. Aha! You were the jackass that shot me while I was trying to get to that chest earlier. Definitely gonna want to find a way to turn that off. Oh, we already killed the possessed armor, I see. Perfect little shortcut now. Oh, Titanite, nice. If we ever want to upgrade other weapons, we've got all the capacity in the world to do it. There's a couple ways to do this. I think I know what we might want to do. Where that flame quartz ring... We can actually sustain, or withstand this fire for just a little bit. Maybe just long enough to get to the door and grab some goodies. Just long enough to grab some goodies. And another great bow. Nice. Oh. we're back outside. Very nice. What's this? Oh, the Simpleton's Ring. I think maybe like the lower your... Either the lower your intelligence, the higher your attack, or something like, lower intelligence required to cast spells, one or the other. Let's have a look-see at our new rings, by the by. Should be right down here. Strength ring, yeah. Same as the Dex ring. Simpleton's ring. Oh, no! Oh, this is the predecessor of one of my favorite Dark Souls 3 rings. Makes the wearer invisible while rolling. Ring depicting a simpleton's flower, wearer becomes invisible while rolling. The ring was worn by the soldiers of the old Iron King, said to be blessed with divine protection. The ring only does one thing, but with ingenuity it can be fearsomely effective. I think it also increases your iframes as well. And then we got just like a magic attack ring. I am tempted to try this out in the short term. Yep. This is exactly what I remember from Dark Souls 3. Now we just need to reach the large door over there. And we'll have explored not all, but most of the tower. Hello? You've just got a chunk of ore, so you're not quite as terrifying to me as the others. Oh, but I hear Nadalia, and I see her effects behind the door. They rather seem to have enjoyed pairing her with the big, bulky giants. That healing effect, ow, makes them quite dangerous. Oh. There's multiple idols around here, I bet. Because even the ones down below didn't heal quite this fast, I want to say. Come on. Oh, I actually staggered him. Nice. There we go. Whew. Now we can crack open this chest, get some loot, and then take care of her. Oh, life ring plus 3. That's pretty good, actually. I think she is, like, forming coherent sentences. They're just whispered, so she has dialogue. We could just barely make any of it out. Yeah, unlike Alonne, we have to feel genuinely bad for this daughter of Manus. She didn't really have much of a purpose because the Iron King totally destroyed his own kingdom and just kind of rotted away here all alone, or largely alone. There was at least one person who had compassion for her, and vice versa, and they're the only thing really giving her any purpose here yet. That would be our main boss here, of course. As I said, we meet 4 children of Manus in this game, but only really fight 2 of them. We've already met 3, and if you've been following along with the game's extremely obvious telegraphing, you should already know who the 3rd is. What's in here? Pilgrim Spontoon. On Earth. God, we've got a lot of stuff. Ah, it's a special spear. Spontoon used by warriors on pilgrimage, rather worn from the long journey it's doubtless seen. A spear which also doubles as a catalyst for sorceries, making it an ideal choice for light-footed pilgrims. Nice, but it also has a really high strength or faith requirement for this kind of build anyway. We'll use the feather and then head to Majula to level up first. Then head on down to the bottom of the tower to take on our first boss. And again, folks, if you're watching this on VOD, you definitely might, even if you're bored with the exploration, skip ahead to the boss fight, because this is some incredible stuff we're about to show off. First things first, let's crush these souls. One thing the DLC is great about is giving you really large quantities of souls, like, so you can continue to develop your character however you like. That I do appreciate. Just 4 level ups? God, we've become so strong. We're going to go ahead and dump them all into adaptability, because a better roll is something I desperately need right now. And we're actually going to go see if old Lenegrast can't doctor up our armor just a little bit. I'm more than a little scared for this one, although I'm also quite excited, if you couldn't tell. Let's see if we can't crank this armor up to a good +10 or damn near. Before we do anything else, let's see if we've got takers at the Rat Covenant. That'll allow us to level up our armor once or twice more, and it'll allow me to have a bit of fun before we, like, dive headfirst into what will be the ass-kicking of the entire playthrough. Both of these bosses, the DLC's main bosses, are among the best in the entire series, and they're also easily among the hardest. I don't correlate the two, of course, but, that's what we're in for. Alright, do we have any contestants for the show today? No? Nothing at all. What a shame, what a shame. I would love to have shown off a fully upgraded puzzle, or, Covenant dungeon at some point in this playthrough, but maybe we can come back to this a bit later. Okay. I always have the hardest time finding the exit to the standard Doors of Pharaoh's bonfire. Here we go. Now we're going to re-equip that Ring of Steel Protection, which we're gonna need for the fight, because, the boss deals almost entirely physical damage with a lot of fire in Phase 2. Okay, well, no dice there, so down to the bottom of the tower we go. Get ready for it. We could call in the Fist Fighter for this. Let me personally assure you, that would do absolutely no good, and she would get destroyed in seconds. Is this an NPC summon site? Oh yeah, you can summon in Carillion, the mage trainer, if you'd like, which is cool. I don't know where else he can be summoned. But nice that they actually make the most of trainers and other, like, I want to say non-plot related, or directly, or plot adjacent trainers, merchants, and NPCs and the like. That's a good way of putting it. There, we have cut off all of the boss's aid. Nadalia can't help them anymore. More souls. Is there like a secret treasure chamber or something along this side of the wall? I honestly don't remember. No? Okay, time to quit stalling and get our asses handed to us. Whew, let's throw on that helmet. Doesn't have the best dark defense, or fire defense in the world, unfortunately. But here we go. This is gonna be quick, probably, but enjoy. Nadalia's last defender and lover, I believe, Sir Raime, the Fume Knight. Hell yeah. So that's the Fume Greatsword. It hurts like you would not believe. But it's actually the Fume Straightsword I'm afraid of, the smaller weapon in his right hand. Notice that, I believe, Sir Raime's style is southpaw. He's left-handed. You can see why this fight is so difficult. He is absolutely relentless. He's attacking more or less constantly. And unlike a lot of other bosses, he doesn't give you much time to breathe or run away or anything like that. He's got a badass-looking armor set, though. Now that's a punishable attack, but notice it heated his sword up, which I believe does buff it. I could be wrong, but... Oh, he can punish that. Oh, but I can punish this. Wait till he gets to Phase 2. That's the one that, like, is a real ass-kicker. As opposed to all of those fake imitation ass-kickers. Yep, the sword's now doing fire damage. Here it comes. He's just thrown the straight sword away and charged the great sword up with a lot of fire. That attack will destroy you if you get hit by it. Oh, this is such a cool fight. Uh-oh. No! Oh, man! We were actually gonna get it, too, but the The AoE on that thrust, like Smelter Demons, is, I'm going to say, generous. Which is to say the initial AoE goes out about 10 feet in front of him. But for a first attempt at Fume Knight, guys, I'm gonna be honest, that was not bad at all. I don't intend to replicate that kind of success, but, geez, what a fight. I hope you guys can see the appeal to this particular encounter for players in general, but for me in particular, it's a really, really well done duel. Like, aside from Nadalia trying to help out, no real gimmicks. Just you and a ridiculously angry, skillful knight. Now, from his soul, you can get either of his weapons. The Fume Straight Sword, for a normal player, is a great sword, and of course, his great sword acts as an ultra great sword. Oh! Just the arc on that, Jesus. Yeah, adaptability, those like extra iframes for rolls are really helping out here. Oh, he's changing rather early this time around. Ow! No, no! And he's still fast once he starts two-handing it. Except now every swing takes like half of your health away. And he does that all the time. Without much of a punishable recovery, too. Ow. Sorry I'm not being that talkative, just this one requires all your concentration. Can we actually do it? Got him! Second try! Holy shit! Well, there goes my favorite fight in the series. Man, my first time through this DLC, granted the character I built was nowhere near as well balanced as this one was, but he must have taken me a couple dozen tries, lord, and that was without Nadalia's help, of course. So we have technically beaten the DLC, but not, of course, all it has to offer or anywhere near, but that was Raime, the Fume Knight. He was actually mentioned in a couple item descriptions we saw earlier in the game, I think. If you recall, he was one of King Vendrick's two closest allies, along with Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. But he went rogue. He just left the king's service because he felt kind of undervalued, I think, or something similar, and made his way here to serve the old Iron King. But I think, like Nadalia, by the time he arrived, the king had fallen along with his kingdom. And both he and the Bride of Ash found, like, comfort in caring for and looking after one another in the wake of this ruined kingdom. So it's a tragic story, really. Also, we get confirmation through Nadalia's story in particular that the Shards of Manus aren't necessarily bad. Alonne was, but the rest of them just kind of have pro-Abyss missions to carry out. And, do their best to achieve those goals. But now back here, we can find Nadalia herself. This is all that remains of her physical body. We can get the crown of the old Iron King from her, and nothing else. That's it. A faint heat lingers in the ancient crown. Well, obviously, everything here is hot as hell, but of course, his crown is kind of ugly. It's, well, I should say, I like the aesthetics of it, but it's less elegant and gentle looking. It's kind of a crude Sauron-looking thing. The king sunk below the scorching iron, met the one whose name must never be repeated, and became Icarus Earth. But these were events of long ago, and today no one even remembers the king's name. Yeah, check that out. I had the distinct impression it's made for somebody, or a character a bit tougher looking than ours, but we have it. We actually did it, y'all. Second try on the Fume Knight. I'm so happy. You can't believe. Or you can't imagine. Thank you, MC. Thank you very much. Again, one of I would argue the best designed like humanoid bosses in the entire series, and certainly one of the best designed bosses we've seen up to now. So now let's head tell you what, let's go to the upper floor and try to take down, or no, the foyer, and try to take down that other invader. We've got to do the other invader, then we've got to drop down that series of, like, really fragile floors to get the treasure that we were supposed to grab the first time, before one of the enemies, like, threw us down a hole in front of the, Minotaur Knight. Can we unlock this now? Tower key, there we go. Oh, yep. That's the curse. Jesus. That's the curse, alright. So we've just got to accept that we're going to get cursed and hollowed repeatedly if we clear out this section of the tower. And again, once we get rid of Nadalia, or her idols, I'm pretty sure we will actually clear up the curse fog. Goodbye, max HP. Where on earth is she, though? Typically, she not only glows, but exudes a pretty white... There she is. Oh, no. No, that's an Ashen Wraith. My bad. What the hell? Good news, we are, like, getting them out of there. Okay, now there's just, like, the Super Wraith, and then Nadalia. Large Titanite, nice. There you are. Oh, and there you are. But you're too late. The worst of it's over. Whew. Well, hold on, let me, just use that to get our health back. Now we just need to do that again with the tower that, Madron the Assassin runs in, and we should be good to go. Fire Snake Pyromancy. Not something we're gonna use, but good to have. What all else was in here? Life gems? Okay. Could come in handy. Again, the third DLC is really tough from what I remember, so I'm not gonna turn my nose up at any healing items. Let's sit at our bonfire one more time, of course, to get all those flask charges back. So I think that on the whole, this DLC area is way more enjoyable to, like, fight your way through than Shulva was. As breathtaking as Shulva's, like, visual design was, honestly, it wasn't the greatest area to actually navigate through, especially, like, when treasure hunting and things like that. What do we think? Oh right, no, this was just the ambush corridor. Whoopsie. Assassins. Next level up. MC says it's great level design. Yeah, I agree. This is good stuff. The two bonus areas, one of which we will see in this stream, one of which we will not, have, I would say, slightly more questionable design, but are still superior to a lot of what we saw in the first DLC. MC says it feels a bit underwhelming in a way, probably just due to length. As I said, collectively, all three DLC are a really compelling package, but individually, there's... Oh, really? She could do it twice in a row? That's a bit cheap, I'm sorry, it is. But yeah, individually they do feel a bit brief. We're actually gonna want to go back to the very first bonfire, I think. Maybe? No? No? That's the one we want. Right bonfire, never mind. Now, if you've been paying careful attention to the lore, you may notice that there's one character associated with the Old Iron King, especially in the base game, that we haven't encountered at all, especially, and seen no mention of or any material related to in the DLC yet. Like, there's one piece of the puzzle, especially all this talk about the elements that made his reign possible and so great, that is missing. Something rather conspicuously missing, actually. Charcoal pine resin. The more I think about it, I actually don't know if these guys have a unique armor set or if they don't. I swear I can remember them using one, but maybe not. Alright, Maldron, let's try this again. Because everybody got so much poise. Yeah, that's right. You better run. Oh, this is gonna suck. I can already hear her. Yeah, no illusory wall here, unfortunately. Unlike the other fume-laden area. Oh, and Maldron's being healed by Nadalia. That's great. Oh, what? An Ash Wraith, really? You son of a... And he even uses gestures to mock you after you die, just like a real PvPer. New idea. We are going to, instead of allowing him to invade us, because, you can only be invaded by anything, NPC or otherwise, when you're not hollowed. We are going to move through that tower normally, even with our reduced max HP, even being cursed sporadically, that's fine. Take out Nashandra's idol, then spawn him in so he'll have nothing to like, assist him in cheesing us just the way I would cheese my opponents. Much better idea. He can invade you even when you're unhollowed. When you're hollowed. Really? Normally you can't be invaded by anything at all. This is a very intentional encounter then, but hey, he's just gonna stand up there. So I will move on without him. Ow. And he is not coming down here either. Very good. My souls. No! No! 90,000 plus souls, are you kidding me? It's okay. We're never going to have to do this again, and we're almost to the end of the game anyway, to the point where level ups, honestly, like, we probably only lost like 2 levels total, which sucks, yes, but isn't going to kill us. Or lead to other things killing us. Well, now I'm just beelining for Nashandra. Screw the Ash Wraiths and Maldron and everything else. They can all wait. We have got to clear the air in here. Well, okay, I might take this guy down. There we go. That's better. You know, for supposedly decorative armor, their stuff isn't that ornate. Now what on earth could the king have hidden down here? Oh, hello. Hailstone. Okay, oh! A bunch of his soldiers, apparently. One of each type. Jesus Christ, this area! Lest we forget, old Maldron's still waiting for us back up top. God damn it. I've died more times in this one tower than in the rest of the DLC combined. Oh dear. And I honestly don't even know if this is good design. I am totally clueless as to whether it would be or not. It feels like a little much, all told, like an NPC who can invade you when you shouldn't normally be able to be invaded, plus the curse, plus enemies, like, with ranged attack capabilities lining the whole tower, plus an ambush of regular Ashen Foot soldiers, plus Nashandra reviving the Wraiths if they go down before she does. It's just like a lot of bullshit to slog through. For what's probably just a spell. There we go. It's not doing anything yet, so give me just a moment. The stone ring will allow us to chop his poise straight to hell. Oh man, look at him go. So Dark Orb doesn't do that much damage, but the Fall does, thankfully. And yeah, because this is basically an avatar of Nashandra, darkness does nothing to the possessed armor. Down it goes. If nothing else, offing Maldron's going to feel very cathartic. The fall still doesn't kill them, though, does it? Oh, no, I think it does. This is just a different one. There you go. He's still totally healed, though. I guess he has some kind of healing item. Ow. Let's see. Come on, a little bit further. Oh, the Wraith's gonna pursue us anyway. Wow, that Wraith is right behind him all the way. Oh, I think he's actually using Raime the Fume Knight shield, which you can find in the base game, maybe? The Rebel's Great Shield, I think it was called. Oh, Acid Maldron, you are a troll. Very good at dodging. No! Woo! Dodging backstabs with rolls. And down he goes again. Alright, well, if we got him to retreat, we could take care of the backup. There we go. Nice heal, but it's not going to do you any good. Oh man, the Lance's strong attack is no joke. It's always that charge, regardless of the specific Lance. He might be using the Charioteer's Lance, like the Undead Chariot, or the Executioner's Chariot soul weapon. There we go. Finally. I will take my human effigy with pride. Thank you. Hey, Ice Golem, how's it going, man? Say you need help killing an NPC? Who's giving you trouble? Welcome to the stream, by the way. I think this is the first time we've seen you. Oh, yeah, we're taking this to the stairs. We can get this down to 2. We should be able to handle them. Ouch. Armorer Dennis? Yeah, I am on PS4, so I'm sorry that I can't help you, like, directly in-game, but Armorer Dennis, if I recall, invades you a couple different times, and he's primarily a caster, so the best way to deal with all NPC invaders of that type, and this even holds true for the hardest, quote-unquote, mage invader in the entire series, in most people's minds, who attacks in the first DLC, is to have some idea of where exactly they're spawning in, bull rush them as soon as they do, with a fairly solid stamina regen, so just don't be wearing really clunky heavy armor or something like that, and try to keep a beat on them and keep them stun-locked with light attacks. That's the easiest way I find to deal with them. Most of the time, at least in this playthrough, whether it was Armorer Dennis or late-game mage invaders, like, once they're stun locked, I've more often than not been able to keep them from doing anything at all. If that's not an option for you, it may be worthwhile to get one of the shields. Let me see if I can find them for you real quick. The cleric shields, the cleric small shield or parma, which are one of which I think the cleric's parma is accessible pretty early in the game, which don't have great base defenses, but will allow you to parry spells given enough practice. You can just deflect them out of the way. If it's not his spells that are giving you trouble, but rather his melee attacks, I'm trying to remember, does he fight with, like, just a straight sword? Or a special kind of straight sword, but, like, a straight sword nonetheless. And also, this may help as well, where is he invading you? I know he invades in the Forest of the Giants, but also may do in the old Iron Keep, right? Ah, so it looks like they don't drop any arms or armor. It's a shame. How many fragments of Nadalia soul do we have, by the by, just so I can keep a running count? 11. 11 and no smelter wedges left. Good to know. Gonna need to turn this one on somehow. Maybe? Oh damn, my memory. I'm trying to find the secret boss, not the secret boss, but the bonus boss for you guys. It's another duel, and according to some, I'm not sure I would agree, but it's a much harder to... Killed him, thanks for the tips. Glad to hear it, Ice Golem. I hope they were actually helpful. I'm sorry, I know I'm a little vague when speaking extemporaneously. But if you need, like, any more advice or, like, suggestions for developing a character or something like that, feel free to reach out. Even if I'm not streaming, you can always message me here on Twitch. Join our Discord, if you like, down in the description of the channel page. We'd love to hear from you. And, if this is your first time through the game, or through specifically the Scholar build of the game, I really hope you enjoy your time with it. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal title. My favorite Dark Souls game, actually, even though that's, like, kind of sacrilege. They were helpful? Excellent. Glad to hear it. Oh, the Discord, I don't know that I actually have a bot connection there, but you can find the link. I'm sorry, I'm not the best with tech, believe it or not. You can find a permanent link at the bottom of my Twitch page's description. Yeah. Thank you very much, MC. Thank you for making up for my total ineptitude when it comes to tech. There we go. Now we're going to get the treasure that we should have our first time through. By the way, MC, any guesses, like, if you don't already know, what or who should we have run into in this tower that we haven't yet? Like, what is conspicuously missing? Hey, thanks a lot, Ice Golem, and welcome to the community. I hope you enjoy your stay with us. Very, very glad to have you. MC says not sure. Oh, no worries. You'll see for long. It's going to be hype, as the children say. Oh dear. The swordsmen may actually be the toughest fume footmen to deal with. They're also, I think, probably the fastest. Oh! Really? It's so weird. I managed to, like, we had this really good run through the main game, or through the bulk of the DLC, and I go back to Treasure Hunt and I'm just getting wasted left, right, and center. Fairly certain the upwards elevator is linked to, yeah, no, I know it is. I know the upwards elevator is linked to our, bonus boss. Because the way I always remembered explaining this to folks back when I was actually familiar with the game was one of the bosses, and I'm sure I've seen other people use the similar description, one of the normal bosses for the DLC, not related to the, multiplayer dungeon, is at the bottom of the tower while the other is at the top. So we're going to have to go effectively to the very top of Brume Tower. They all have, except for the halberd variant, I don't know that the halberdier does, but they have flailing attacks, much like, you know, the really basic hollows in each game. Really? Well, bye-bye more souls. How is this happening all of a sudden? I don't think I'm getting careless or anything, just... We're gonna get this treasure, because God knows I need it now, no matter what it is. And then we're going to go to the top of the tower. And we'll probably be able to get, unless this boss proves just as difficult as I remember, which we were actually able to get a pretty good run in for Fume Knight, so I don't know. We may be able to make it at least to, like, the first couple of bonfires in the third DLC. Which, in terms of visual design, and perhaps mechanical design as well, is far and away my favorite. It's also the only one I've not completely beaten before. Yeah, we really want these backstabs. They may be magic resistant, I don't really know. No soldier down here? Guess not. We will use our dark orbs to thin these guys out a little bit this time, or at least weaken them. Soften them up a little. Or we could try knocking one of them down a hole for a change. Nah. Upgraded Partisan, alright. I mean, not the worst weapon for a Dex character, right? No illusory wall, right? Oh, and that was it. It was all for the partisan. Excuse me while I try not to completely lose my mind. To the top of the tower. That was so not worth it. Oh, but this next boss, whether we lose all the souls from it or not, like, fighting this next one is worth it just for the experience. I don't like this one quite as much as the Fume Knight. That's just, like, probably my all-time favorite Souls series boss. But this is a really, really close contender. No, we've already been in here, right? Yeah. Oh no, we just need to use the tower door. And we'll have that lift that I did not see the entire time, because I thought this was solid. Whoopsie. We'll also have access to our last bonfire. And be invaded by maybe the most unique NPC, like, duelist in the entire series, for one very simple mechanical reason. Yeah, prowlers. There's multiple enemies here. And one of Nadalia's idols, the last one, I believe. They're a bunch of katana-armed madmen who inflict bleed damage like it's nobody's business. I think they wear what might be called, I think, like the Mad Prophet set or something like that. Mad Warrior. We need a smelter wedge to get rid of you. Oh god. Oh god, there's so many. It's a boy band of trained killers. Screw it, I'm running. Better to fight them away from, Nadalia's idol. Yeah, baby, here we go. Oh, backstab. Yep. I'll be honest with you, I totally forget how I took these guys down originally. Well, they don't have the most health in the world without Nadalia's help. But there are 5 of them. Okay, so scary, but not the world's toughest combatants. That's better. I feel much better now, actually. And I think they might be some of the only enemies in the entire game, or characters, to drop the Mad Warrior set. Oh, and we got their sword, too, the Berserker Blade Katana. At least I'm pretty sure it's a katana. Yeah. Oh, our version doesn't cause bleed, though. That's a shame. The katana of a berserker, by its name. The thick, shiny black blade cuts exquisitely. Its origins and owner are unknown, but at some point the blade became known by this name. Ice Golem says I found the Smelter Demon. Oh, man. So, good luck. This is... I presume you're talking about the fight in the Iron Keep in the base game before... yeah. It's divided into 3 phases. It's going to adjust its tactics and specifically modify its moveset in such a way that will discourage standard, like, circle strafing around it in close proximity as the fight goes on. So every time you see it, like, charge up and kind of buff itself, like, favor... Yeah, okay, good. I would say, as long as you're not running a magic or a ranged build, which apparently have a much easier time with him, try to get in and then out, especially once it buffs itself for the first time. Wait until, like, it slams its sword, or performs another easily punishable attack. Go in, get 1 or 2 hits, light attacks in, get out. Do be careful of its AoE, though. It has an AoE linked to one of its attacks that looks really punishable at first, but let us know how you do. I'm not going to try to just coach you through the whole thing, because I don't want to spoil too much, honestly. Put it this way, if you would like some advice or tips, please ask. I'd be happy to give you a bit more specific info, but other than that, good luck. So, yeah, this is what I was talking about. The Iron King's elite warriors were kind of absent from the DLC. Except up here, we found a suit of armor and a massive, Nodachi, emanating a very powerful aura. And as long as we have the Ashen Mist Heart, we can go back in time into the memory of, oddly enough, the old Iron King, not the owner of this armor. But if you remember, Golem says, well, I haven't even beaten the Pursuer yet. Well, you should be able to manage, if you were able to make it to Iron Keep, you should be able to manage the Smelter Demon. He's just going to be kind of tricky. So we are in the memory of the old Iron King. We are going to run through an absolute gauntlet of samurai, salamanders, ironclad knights. It's just a whole thing here. And the gauntlet we have to run to get to the boss is about as dangerous as the boss himself. Plenty of minor gear here, though. Glad to see that the Alonne Knights kept their tactics from the base game, huh? Golem says so much lore. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, this is... Here we'll actually get to see what inspired the creation of the Alonne Knights. And, let's say there's a reason these guys were quite as dangerous as they were in the base game. They were trained by the very best. Oh! Damn it all! Yeah, that's gonna be happening a lot. We've got to get through, like, a couple chambers filled to the brim with Alonne Knights and Salamanders, and I think there's Ironclads later on, and then we get a crack at the boss. Oh, nice Golem, thank you very much for the follow, man, I really appreciate it, and welcome to the community. Going to be playing through the Soulsborne series sporadically over, like, the next couple of months. After this, I'll be tackling Bloodborne, then Dark Souls 3, but I'll be playing a couple shorter, simpler games in between to kind of, like, cleanse the palate. You'll notice there's at least one NPC summon here, like a Mastodon Knight, and there's a reason for that. Two. And, maybe a Samurai or something? No, a Twin Blade user. There's a reason for that. This area leading up to the boss is kind of insane. And in fact, I've got an idea. I'm going to summon in some help to assist me in clearing out the Iron King's memory, and then send them home before actually fighting the boss. Because this area is just... it's a lot to handle every time you fight what is already a very difficult boss. Lori, you wanna... There you go. Not dealing the most damage in the world, but I take it that her purpose here is to act as a tank. Oh, well, we definitely want the Ring of Iron protection back on. Whoopsie. Oh, their poise is even better now, though. They can take one of my strong attacks and not flinch at all. That's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign. And remember, we're in a memory, so we are actually on a clock. Wow, they are totally ignoring my support. Oh, this could have gone better. The salamanders don't put up nearly as much of a fight in this world. Okay. Second level. Ay, 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 ay. Now, I don't think our timer can run out once we actually hit the boss door. Golden says, finally beat the Pursuer. Congratulations, man. My first time through Dark Souls 2, that was definitely one of the harder bosses I had to learn for the first time. Oh god. We'll go ahead and heal up. Why do they keep coming? And we'll send our helper home. Send our helper home. Will it not work? Yeah, there we go. So time to see where all those samurai got their training from. And a beautiful boss arena. This is Sir Alonne. And he is a beast. He is the dex-based answer to, like, the overwhelming strength of the Fume Knight. He's insanely fast, has awesome reach, and maybe not quite as much health as the Fume Knight, actually, nowhere near as much. But, he doesn't need it. Oh, what? He didn't hit us with the... Okay. We're dead. Yeah. Gold says, I've spent hours watching lore. There's some great lore channels on YouTube. As we can see, Sir Alonne is a nightmare. He's a waking nightmare of a boss. Compared to everything else we've seen up to this point. He's a lot faster than Fume Knight, even though he's a lot lighter. And unlike the Fume Knight, he can dodge, and will, like, frequently. I think the best way to handle this, now that I've gone through, may actually be to just sprint straight to Sir Alonne's boss chamber. And notice he buffed his weapon with darkness, not basic magic or anything like that. So Alonne might take me a little while, guys. Just, again, as a heads up. This one is not going to be easy. None of this, of course, is helped by the fact that all of his knights are so fast. No, bad idea. Oh. Now see, this is like Shulva, again, where you have to just slog through a ridiculous number of fairly difficult and resilient enemies every time you want to go back to a boss door. Sorry, not a boss door. With Shulva, it was just that way to get from bonfire to bonfire. This DLC was pretty good at avoiding that kind of design up to this point. Not entirely sure why it's present here. Golem says that was a big bird. Yeah, no, you're talking about the crow or raven that brings you to the Bastille, right? You can get quite a bit. You've technically unlocked a shortcut, but there's also a good deal of really solid loot I think you can only get in that area you've been brought to, the far tower, or the tower apart, I think. Ow. We're gonna make it? Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, they will retreat from the boss door, thankfully. How do we want to do this? Break a couple life gems. How? You insist. Weird. Okay. And we're going to want to pop one of these. And we're going to want to pop a balm, actually, to increase our dexterity, and therefore our damage output. Also, instead of magic, how do you bet Sir Alonne feels about charcoal? There we go. That's his most punishable attack, the charge. Well, that and the thrust. Ow. Ow. Oh, shoot. Oh! His range is so good! As is his theme, wow. And if you run, so will he. Wow. Just the speed, the relentlessness. I could see where the most annoying enemies in the game got it, good sir. Oh! Damn this fight. I think he's actually more aggressive than the Fume Knight, than Sir Raime. Oh yeah, and you've just run into, Ice Golem, you've run into Lucatiel again. If you want to quote-unquote complete her quest line, make sure you summon her in whenever you can, like for bosses and things like that. If you have no interest in it, would rather fight bosses without the phantoms, that's fine, you just get, you get a couple little things for it. So, MC, if you're still around, thoughts on this boss as opposed to the last one? I think visual design's actually a lot better, not for the boss himself, but like for the arena and all of that. But, if anything, how do you summon her? Look for, as long as you are unhallowed, meaning you have a human effigy active since your last death, find a white summon sign like this somewhere in the vicinity of the boss door. MC says, I like how the boss balances the other one. Yeah, agreed. I think he's maybe just a bit too... No. It's not that he's too fast. His range is maybe too great, but other than that, he's a great fight. Like, keep the speed, just reduce the reach of that sword by maybe 20%, and you've got a great fight. That still not kill the other one? Oh, he inflicted bleeding. Good, good. Monastery charm? Okay. So, Alonne is actually, for the record, not trying to kill us. He just wants a really, really solid fight. And in fact, there's a special win condition. If you can get him down to maybe, I think it's like 10% of his health without him landing a single attack, he will commit seppuku, and drain the rest of his health in the process. After, like, bow... And I think if we, like, bow to him when we enter the arena, he'll return the gesture. He's much more honorable than the Iron King, put it that way. Take some of that. And he says, I want to see that gesture. I will try. I don't know if it... Or no, he might only... I'm sorry, I might have gotten that backwards. He might bow to you only before he commits suicide. Not gonna try it here because I don't want to get just destroyed by him. We'll even eat our last bright bug. Oof, accidentally did the rolling attack, which does not track. You know what this actually feels very reminiscent of to me? The Artorias fight, like the rhythm and everything. Oh god, he's fast. Well, we're not going to get the special gesture, or the special victory, but... Oh god. No! Got him! Oh, I've actually never beaten him alone before without an NPC. Or another player. Nice. So with that, we get the soul of Sir Alonne. And past here, we can find the empty throne of the Iron King. And get the last smelter wedge that we can use to destroy Nadalia's, idol, her last idol. Whew. I am very happy with the way today's stream has gone, and it actually turns out we've built a way more robust character than I did my first time through, because again, Sir Alonne was really, really hard for me in the... Thank you, MC, thanks a lot. The area leading up to him was kind of BS, but Sir Alonne himself, yeah, good fight, and he actually required me to dip into my massive reserve of consumable items, especially to get that not the dexterity buff, the stamina buff, necessary to keep up with him. But, once we did, we managed, finally. Now, there is the Iron Passage, the multiplayer-only dungeon, but as I said, we're going to come back to those later on. Do we have all of Nadalia's soul fragments? Yes, we do. We get the full soul now. Soul of Nadalia... In the act of dancing, the bride... Yeah, Nadalia's no more. True soul of Nadalia acquired. In the act of dancing, the Bride of Ash was transfigured as smoke, enticing people to come to her residence, and so her seat of power came to be known as the Brume Tower. The wondrous soul of this Augur of Solitude, as opposed to Alana's Augur of Wrath, can be used to acquire numerous souls or to create something of great worth. And with that, we will never have to see those nightmarish samurai knights ever again. We've cut down their commander, we've given him the honorable death he wanted, or the honorable defeat at the very least, and can now head on to bigger and better things. So, I'm torn. We got maybe 10-15 minutes left in the stream. What would you guys rather see? The beginning of the third DLC, like kind of setting the stage for it, examining the really gorgeous environment, or one more run at the Dark Lurker? I'm game for either. In the meantime, we're going to get us a couple more levels. Two? Yeah, we'll actually... As much as I joked about it at first, we will take more adaptability. No, hold on. NCS, try to get a poor player a run for his money in your dungeon. I tell you what, I'll do that, and then, real quick... Actually, give me a minute. I know we've got like 15 minutes of stream left, but I'm gonna go grab another drink and, like, rotate the clothes currently in my washer and dryer. Like, you know, remove one load, transition one from the washer to the dryer, and so on. And I'll be back maybe in 3 minutes. I want to try that, and then I'm actually going to take one more stab at the Dark Lurker, because remember now, we have, like, a silver bullet for the Dark Lurker, drastically increasing our dark resistance. Yeah, by like 150 points. I'll be right back and we'll give that a shot. Don't go anywhere, y'all. Alright, we are back and ready to, as I said, like just as a little denouement to tonight's stream, tackle, well, see if we can't get anybody in the Rat King dungeons right quick, and then tackle the Dark Lurker, who I am fairly certain, with a couple rings we picked up in the DLC, we can effectively trivialize, because again, I did misspeak or misremember. a couple days ago. The Dark Lurker, aside from, like, its flame attack, its one, like, little dumbfire pyromancy attack, deals only, I want to say, only dark damage. And, well, we picked up a few things in the DLC that will jack our dark defense through the roof, earning us, hopefully, that Dark Lurker soul for the first time in my Dark Souls career. Golem says I nearly died with 32k souls. Oh man, I hate to hear that. It's always the worst. I've lost like upwards of 100,000 souls before, and man, it just never gets easier. Where is our favorite ring? Here it is. Anybody down here? Or anybody in our level range down here? Oh man, MC says I died and lost 21 humanities in Dark Souls 1. Oh, that's the worst. Now, to be fair, depending on your covenant, if you're a member of the right covenant, you can get that back, like, through a couple hours of dedicated PvP, but that is still, oh, just awful. I'm sorry. Especially since I would argue humanity, at least in through the mid-game, is not quite as easy to get your hands on as human effigies are in this. Okay, so nothing there. Doors of Pharos. Here we go. We got one. As he says, not spend any humanity shards for this. Just general grinding. I see. Well, good for you, man. Who do we have? Who do we have? Oh, Ice Golem, you're at the Ruin Sentinels? Good luck. That was probably the hardest early game boss for me when I first played through Dark Souls 2. Welcome! Welcome! Nice big greatsword build. I like you. Now, see, you could try fighting my men. What the hell? Oh, that is some serious lag, yo. What on earth is happening? Okay. You have 99 arrows for the ones off the first platform. May or may not do any good. I would say stay on that platform as long as you can. They will chase you off eventually. But, like, stay up on that perch just as long as you feel comfortable doing. So that was a very glitchy Rat King duel, but a Rat King duel nonetheless. He, like, drained half my health with one blow from a really good greatsword. Oh, look, the axes are taking care of the Mastodon Knight. Oh, dear. And I was able to just kind of wail on him while his character, at least in my world, was just kind of stuttering in place. It's, that sure was a Dark Souls PvP, or PvP session. Now, I think, we were going for, Dark Lurker, right. So we want to head back to the Forbidden Woods, or the Shaded Ruins, that's it. And we're going to... MC says don't forget to fix the rings. Don't worry, I will. We're going to fix our rings once to get through those phantoms, including those nightmarish fellas with the twin daggers, then again for Dark Lurker itself. Right now we want... what do we want? We want steel protection. This is such a beautifully eerie area. I love it. Well, except for these guys, anyway. actually of the mind that they should have stuck to the Dark Souls 2 vanilla use for them, like just in the really dense fog-shrouded area. As he says, building a geothermal generator in Cliff Empire is a long process. Like, how long are we talking? In-game, of course. Alright, y'all, super boss time. Again. Back in this dark chasm that practically feels like home at this point. OMC says it's being built at the bottom of a cliff. Component manufactured on top. Each component manufactured on top and brought by drone to the bottom. Oh, so... yeah, in-game that would take probably a good 30 minutes of wait. Oh, jeez. Hopefully the output's worth it. Is anybody going to, like, attack us? Or, like, come to us? Jeez. Bad sign when the Magus is just working me over like this. The others are playing very defensively, though. Alright, good. Now that we've got them, we can fight them in a more favorable area. Well, kinda, sorta. Ferris is just going to be on our ass from this point on. No, you don't. Oh, and they're healing, of course. This is probably the worst I've done against these guys so far, which is fine. Oh, really? Ice Golem asks, why can they jump so high? They are... well, you'll see if you're not aware and dig into their lore. They're technically not human, and they have a very special connection to the Bastille, so you're kind of fighting them on their home turf. Well, that was embarrassing. Typically, if we recall, I'm able to kite the Twin Dagger Phantom solo without the other two jumping on us, but not so that time. For whatever weird... I think they might have gotten stuck, or their pathfinding got stuck on the brazier. MC says you... no idea if it's worth it. You basically need to build the building to figure out how good it is, and bottom building is a learning process. I got you. So it's something you're experimenting with currently. You're still, like, learning that particular mechanic, even though you've built a couple, I'm sure. You need to figure out exactly how useful they're going to be to you. I always have that experience with new units in RTSs. Let's try that again. Right, no. MC says first you build on top of the cliff. Or, I guess I should say you need to find out how useful it'll be in that circumstance. Then when you can survive, you get medals. then building on the sides, then finally the bottom, I guess. Right? Here's our buddy. Now they are so good with the daggers, because they are actually using a mechanic I have not shown off yet. Like, at all. Each has its own unique process and balance, top, sides, and bottom. I gotcha. So it may be more or less beneficial to build certain structures in certain areas, I suppose. Oh, bonfire aesthetic. Nice, I think that's what all the phantoms here drop. What the dagger-wielding phantom is doing is called power stancing. It's a special type of dual-wield moveset you can access with a pair of weapons of the same type. Not two of the same exact weapon, but weapons of the same type. Provided you have, I want to say, 1.5 times the required, or stats required to wield the weapon ordinarily. So if it needs 6 strength, you would need at least 9 to power stance it, and so on. MC says, the area not so much, but for example, building a wind turbine on the cliffside adds a square on top to build upon, so building allows more space. Oh, I get it. Sometimes you create structures that can be, or flat surface area that you can build upon. I gotcha. Alright, now let's trivialize this sucker. This boosts all our elemental defenses, slightly, but, I'm gonna go for the dark quartz. Ice Golem says our reinforced armor. That is a good idea, only if you believe you're going to be using a certain armor set for a very long time. If you want to reinforce it a couple times, that probably won't hurt anything. But just make sure it's armor you really, really like. MC says, but if the particular cliff has almost no wind, the wind turbine is useless. Except for the surface area, I would imagine. So it may sometimes, very rarely, I guess, be worth it to construct maybe utilities or buildings you can't quite get the most out of in a certain region, if they give you more room to build. At least I would think so. Oh, I don't want to remove the Chloranthy ring, I don't want to remove any of these, but, Ring of Blades, maybe. Yeah, it's not gonna decrease my attack that much, actually. And the Dark Trochus. Oh wait, no, we're gonna have to reapply the pine resin. Damn it, never mind. But here we go. Oh, I love this boss fight theme. Oh, and what does he open with? Or what does it open with, rather? Of course, the one fire attack. Uh-oh. Now, Dark Lurker does have a very healthy pool of HP. That's one thing I will say for it. For a mage boss, or a magic-based boss, it is no slouch in the Constitution department. God, that theme is so good! Here it comes. Uh-oh. AoE. Fortunately, they are very fond of just the basic melee combos. Not gonna judge. Makes things a little bit easier on us, doesn't it? Oh, and there's the laser. And rolled right into that one. We're getting it. Laser again? Got it! Even though it, like, hit me with a spiteful strike on the way out. We earned the Selfless Giver trophy. Thank you very much. That was, whew, exhilarating, actually. Ice Golem says Old Knight armor and Haid gauntlets are the ones I did. The Haid Knight set is really good if you can get the whole thing, especially for like the stage of the game you're at right now. The Haid weapons as well, all good stuff. And MC says another aspect is aesthetic. You can build anything however you want. While you can build anything however you want, it's not nice to put the uranium extraction plant in the middle of the city. What? But like there'd be so much light. Like, across the city streets, all the time. It'd be, like that would be the perfect aesthetic centerpiece of a city. So, yeah, thanks to that Dark Quartz ring, we just manhandled the bonus boss and got its soul. But check it out. It's a light soul. So at the heart of the abyss is a creature that resembles an angel and has a soul made of light. Soul of what lurks in the dark chasm. The dark chasm of old is the remnant of some ancient dissipated being. And that's it. We get, like, no proper lore on this thing at all. It's just there, in my mind, to urge you to ponder the true nature of the abyss you're supposed to be fighting against quite stolidly throughout the entire series. Again, lots of little hints inferring that, okay, maybe they're not, quote-unquote, the good guys, but the Abyss and its affiliated creatures aren't the bad guys either. And from there, we can return to Grandal, who will congratulate us by giving us a very special sorcery, or hex. It's basically the ultimate version of Resonant Soul, I think. And the chasms stay open perpetually. Ice Golem says I'll farm the Haid set. If you'd care to, like I said, it's rock solid. You can get better stuff. Well, I shouldn't say better stuff. I can't say for certain. But if you expand Mouflin the Armor's inventory early on, and like just buy some of his better sets, you can get access to really good light armor with solid defenses that can carry you nearly as far, I want to say. So,
young undead, you've discovered the truest dark within you. A deep, deep dark it is. The dark that we must all face. the abyss more now than ever.
So we get King Jeremiah's set, as well as, like, the Super Resonant Soul.
I bequeath these to
Oh, he's gonna give us his personal weapon, too, I think.
on your pilgrimage.
That is the most powerful chime in the entire game, I believe. Ice Golem says my friend was yelling ogre, so I yelled donkey. I think I know exactly what area of the game you're in, or what you run into, anyway. What do we got? What do we got? So, before we hang it up, I am going to go to Strayed and Ornifex to craft some boss soul weapons. And then, real quick, just to leave you guys with something to salivate over until tomorrow afternoon or evening, I'm going to show you the beautiful vista that greets us upon entry to the last DLC. So he'll give us the entire Forlorn armor set. Sure, why not? And yeah, we can use the Dark Lurker Soul to get the Life Drain patch. Nadalia's soul, for a ridiculous amount of money, can give us the Outcry Pyromancy. But I think I want to use Nachka's Soul to get Soul Shower and the Ruined Sentinels to get the Heavy Home and Soul Arrow. Don't want to use either of the. Don't want to use any of these quite yet, but what does the Life Drain patch do? Consume a number of souls and affix dark to a certain spot, inflicting damage upon those who touch it. This distorted dark, brewed by hexers, drains the life force of those who touch it. That sounds really good, actually. The Giant Lord Soul gets us Repel. Oh, a hex that distorts local space. For a brief moment, no damage can be inflicted. The Hexer Galea took no apprentice, and it's unclear how his spells were passed down. It's even possible that hexes originated from another source altogether. And just to get, like, the info on these two that we're probably not going to be getting. An ancient miracle said to have been devised by warriors who once served the god of sun. Provides a temporary boost to the attack and defense of its caster and all nearby allies. Perfect for co-op. And then the Dahlias. Spouts multiple dark flames. This child of dark, bearing inconceivable strength, found herself in a kingless land devoid of souls, and in journeying there, has all but condemned herself to a fate most wretched. Lovely. So we're gonna go see Ornifex / cut through a whole bunch of terrifying spiders. Gotta hide in Ornifex's workshop. First, gotta cut through the horde of spiders waiting for us. Another scythe. Whatever. Does that just close this? Never mind. So she now obviously offers us a ton of things. The Fume Sword. And she says they should learn to work in a safe environment. Honestly, she should be in an environment, or like for the player's convenience, mechanically, should be in an environment not just crawling with enemies, but whatever. We'll go ahead and take Velstadt's Chime. And, what else do we have? The Fume Sword from Raime. Straight sword forged from the soul of the Fume Knight and imbued with the dark of Nadalia. The exile swordsman Raime had the ability to expunge the black fog, but chose instead to live alongside it, in the company of the child of dark that haunts his sword. We also can use Vendrick's soul to get his special greatsword that he was kind of sadly flailing around in his boss fight. Oh, but notice its attack is boosted by the number of souls we have. That's a really significant buff. Greatsword of Vendrick, King of Drang Lake. The strength of this sword is relative to the number of souls possessed by its wielder. One fragment of dark, having taken human shape, so a fragment of Manus, became obsessed with the king's soul. Impelled by its own cravings, it sought souls, and strove to make the strength of the giants its own. Again, hint, hint, wonder what that could be referencing. We could also get Vendrick's Ultra Greatsword, which is just a gigantic, massive slab of stone. An Ultra Greatsword forged from the soul of King Vendrick inflicts heavy damage on enemy armor. Ice Golem says I beat DS3 without locking on or blocking. Man, congratulations, that's a hell of an achievement. I couldn't beat it without a shield, to be honest with you. Only the king knows whether the depiction of the queen is a resentful mockery or an affectionate exultation. The trademark Fume Ultra Greatsword, one of a few weapons so iconic in this game it was brought back for number 3. The Exile Swordsman yeah, same thing, okay. With the soul of Sir Alonne, we can get his bewitched sword. The captivating, undulating design serves to enhance this weapon's mystical allure. Alonne came from the east, and soon became the Iron King's most trusted knight. When he departed, the old Iron King bequeathed Sir Alonne's name to his Iron Warriors. We can get Vendrick's shield if that's really a thing we want. It's not, but it's cool enough, I guess. Nothing new there. We can get Sir Yorg's spear from the Soul of Sin. After his defeat of the Sunken King, Sir Yorg pierced Sin, the slumbering dragon, with this spear to claim its blood. But Sin immediately awoke, spewing forth a poisonous fog that blanketed the city in death, and Sir Yorg disappeared into the eternal sanctum. From Alonne Soul, we can get her axe, which has a really high faith requirement for a weapon. Use strong attack to unleash its latent power. When the abyss dissipated, the things that called it home were fragmented and scattered across the realm. Eventually, these pieces regained form in ways that hinted at humanity's true nature. And Nadalia has a special chime. This is probably what we'll get from her. Nothing appears sacred about the frightful design of this chime, but it does have the benefit of raising one's faith. The oozing, frozen iron forming the bell seems to anticipate a scream. So we'll use... we'll probably get the Fume Sword, as there's really no way we'll ever get to wield the other properly. Just as we'll get Vendrick's sword, and we'll save the rest for later and actually get Sir Alonne's weapon, which will be perfect for us. Ice Golem says, I just saw shield as a waste and used the Black Knight sword. That's totally fair. That is an extremely popular playstyle for a good reason. Kind of high risk, high reward, big, dual-wielding, greatsword build. I've never been fond of big weapons in games like this, though. That's... which is weird, but yeah, never really have. Oh, this is the sword we got from the bottom of the tower. But what am I looking for? I'm looking for Sir Alonne's weapon, yeah. Check this out. We have to two-hand it, of course, to begin with, but, this right here, if you get a build that can work it properly, this is where it's at. Also, we got the standard Fume Sword, I believe. Which is a normal greatsword, but... isn't it? No? Oh no, it's just a normal straight sword. Nice. Making it probably one of the best straight swords in the entire game. Oh, dude, that looks sick. Right, so finally, before I leave you guys for the evening, and go take care of a little bit of housework before heading to bed. I'm going to show you what lies in store for us tomorrow. I'm really excited about this one. Past the falconers. Who are, again, just a really interesting choice for this area. I mean, I'm glad they were put somewhere outside of New Game Plus, though. I mean, at this point, we can effectively tank most of this. Keep falconing, dudes, MC says. It's... yeah, they only show up here and in Seldora, but I feel like it's better than just, like, shoving them off into New Game Plus. But now, we can actually make use of the Shrine of Winter, which, of course, at launch, prior to the release of the DLC, served no purpose whatsoever, save as, like, a visually intriguing little set piece on the route to Drangleic Castle. But, oh man, this area... not quite as eye-catching in my mind as the gorgeous Dragon Aerie and Shrine, because, well, nothing in the entire series is. But it's close. Check this place out. Welcome to the religious, like, stronghold, or I guess you should say, bustling religious metropolis of Elium Lois, home of the Ivory King. MC says, my, yeah, I know, this place is gorgeous. We'll reach our first bonfire and then call it. MC says, this reminds me of another game. Which one is that? Some people have drawn very favorable for Dark Souls 2 comparisons with Lords of the Fallen. Notice the gates have been nearly frozen shut. Oh, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. I gotcha. Well, here we are, one of the most gorgeous areas in the entire game. Yep. And this, kids, take note, Dark Souls 3, this is how you tie in lore from earlier entries. Does that look familiar at all to you? All this talk about the old chaos? Our villain here, for all intents and purposes, is what precious little is left of the Bed of Chaos. We're taking on the most hated boss from the first Dark Souls in a very different way, and with the aid of a character that a lot of players probably wouldn't have expected. Not a character from the first game, but just a type of ally some players were still surprised to see in this game. MC says you basically raid a castle atop a snowy mountain. I love scenes and set pieces like that, man. I'm not a huge fan of ice physics in games, but I really do like Arctic or like ice-based levels. So, with all that said, ladies and gents, it's been 3.5 hours, and what a wonderful 3.5 hours it has been. I do hope you will join me tomorrow, either afternoon or evening. I'll keep everybody up to date in the Discord, for more and possibly our final stream of Dark Souls 2 for this time being. We have the third DLC to get through. It's far and away the toughest by my memory, but Ice Golem says it looks like the Pilgrim Butterfly. A little bit. We're actually going to talk a lot about the connections between the Pilgrim Butterflies and characters in this game and the first during the Dark Souls 3 stream series, but good catch. We will take on Frozen Elium Lois tomorrow, and hey, if we make good time, we can mainline the 3, yes, count them, 3 consecutive final bosses together. I can't wait to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your time and yourselves with me this evening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day, as the case may be. Whether you're watching this live on Twitch or after the fact as a VOD on YouTube, I want you to know how much I really deeply appreciate your patronage. Seriously, thank you so much for being here. In a time like this, I'm just glad that I'm able to do something to entertain or lighten the load of others, and I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to connect with others through this kind of medium. So until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.